Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Angel of Thy Night radio show, and I am your host, Lord Rick. And today's show is going to be a little bit about Roswell, the UFO flying saucer crash. We're also going to go into alien beings, extraterrestrials, other worlds, and we're going to talk a little bit about my recent ordeal dealing with stalkers, hate groups. I wanted to first off let everybody know, especially my fans and members, I am very sorry that Myspace had disabled my account. What happened is that there was a hate forum created on Myspace. It was named Hot Sauce. Basically, most of the people there are people who have been stalking me, stealing my kids' photos, putting them up on their site. A lot of those people belong to an urban exploring group called UER. Some of the members have been banned off my group because they either spammed it, flamed other members, or investigated for us and were banned off the team because they did not follow protocol. These people just are extremely jealous, extremely hateful, disrespectful, and the Paranormal Ghost Society is all about getting together paranormal investigators, ufologists, cryptozoologists. We want to network them. We're not out to make enemies. We're not here to disrupt the peace. All these myths, all these lies you hear, that's exactly what they are. If it doesn't come out of my mouth, chances are it's not going to be true. So I'd just like to let my fans and members know this. And, the thing is that I stood up to this hate group. And I worked with Myspace a lot because I've done a lot of advertising for them in the last few years. And our group's had 5,000 people. Most of them are very active, very solid members, very loyal to the Paranormal and Ghost Society. And sometimes it takes a few evil people that spoil it for the rest of us. And I stood up for myself. I stood by what I believe in because the paranormal's my passion. It's part of my kids' lives. It's, ever since a child I've had experiences, things I can't explain. And when I was a child I used to see these beings. I'm not even sure they were ghosts, but they were something not of this world. And that's what got me into the paranormal is, as a child, I seen things that I can't explain. I want to know what they are. And my quest for the truth goes beyond just a MySpace group. And my account was disabled. I only have a partial access, like my blogs, my friends list. That's all still up, but I cannot access the profile. I can't access the group. It's all been taken away from me by MySpace. These stalkers, I had created a new account. They're contacting me under the new account, harassing me. There's just no reason for it whatsoever. When people start to do that over and over and over and they start to become obsessed, it's just plain and simple. It's jealousy. Sometimes when you're honest and you're blunt, it rubs off on people the wrong way and they misunderstand. And they keep going back to something that happened a year ago, and as I've explained, and I've done a very good, sincere job of explaining it, I joined a few groups a year ago. I asked for some donation help because I was referred there, and I never said I was the best. I said I was one of the best. See, bluntness tends to offend people. They misconstrue every word you say on the internet. And that's why we have meetups. That's why I meet with my members. So that way I can talk to them and explain things to them so they don't take it offensively. But anyways, I got my account deleted because I stood up for what I believe in. And, I was tossed. It's a false toss. The people involved, they're going to get their accounts removed because I have written MySpace. And I'm going to keep on it, and I'm going to keep on it. A lot of people just don't understand, now that I don't have control over the group, these hate groups and these people that been bothering me for months on end, You know, they join my forum, and all their words are very cocky and hateful and full of jealousy, and you know, it's just very childish, because when you're an urban explorer or you're a paranormal investigator, you're supposed to be working together, not against each other. And when people act this way, you know, you're losing more than you think. You're losing advertising, you're losing a friendship, you're losing trust, you know, instead of working together to try to complete the same goals as one. You know, I'm one of these guys that I know what I'm capable of doing, and I know when I'm good at something, and the paranormal has always been something that I'm good at. And, you know, when you're good at something, you have every right to show off. You have every right to share all you want to share, because you should have passion. You should be proud of your work, and that's fine. You know, as a founder, when I started this group up, I said, you know, I'm not going to force people to believe in me or to believe in what we do. But if you don't believe in it, you don't believe in our photos, you don't believe in us, don't browse our site. Don't join our groups. We're not forcing anybody. I'm not forcing anybody to hold hands and become friends with me. But, you know, we offer so much. We got these radio shows, we run a store, you know, we run many paranormal forums, do weekly adventures. We do a lot of different activities. We get involved. And anybody who tries to disrupt that or deter that is actually just ridiculous. Because for one, we fight the good fight against drunk driving. For two, daily, we're always helping people. And you know, the group is pretty much going to be deleted out of the system on Myspace. You know, and it's not right. And it does not hurt my feelings. I have not fallen. I'm not even mad. Because you see, it doesn't matter, because I can always start over. I can always do it again and again and again. Because my loyal members and my fans, they're going to follow me wherever I go. So, you know, MySpace had written me, and I've written MySpace back. I didn't violate TOS. Okay? It was a matter of these hateful people just kept bothering me, whining to MySpace that I intend to cause them harm, and all these little rumors that aren't true. And the truth is that any founder whose children get harassed or group gets flamed has a right to equally defend himself. And, you know, the whole thing is that he said, she said, it's drama. I'm not going to be part of it. You know, I run these webcasts because my members listen to them, and they listen to them fully. And, you know, I have never seen a group of people so obsessed in my life. I mean, you know, I run a paranormal organization, and they care about what women I date, what color my hair is, what goes on with my kid, my blogs, my personal life. And, you know, the way some of you haters treat me, you act like I'm Brad Pitt or something, and you're trying to get an autograph. So rather, you know, I find it entertaining that you're interested that much in me. And, you know, these people, I want my members to know these people have fallen into my hands. See, they don't understand that this past year, everything they have done, it's actually hurt them more than it's helped them. I've had hundreds and hundreds of people write me and tell me, well, I'm not joining so-and-so group. I'm not going to be friends with this person. And they've done it not because of what I've said. It's because I'm able to back this up and show people that this is what they do. So, you know, for example, in the MySpace group, look at the hate messages, look at the foul messages, look at these people boasting on how I've fallen and how my MySpace got deleted. Big deal. I'm back, and as the old saying goes, is my very special friend, and she knows who he is, the Lord always comes back. And I'm Lord Rick. And it doesn't matter if people believe in the Paranormal and Ghost Society or not. You know, I look at all the little things I've accomplished, being on a ship in a snowstorm and investigating it, climbing in a mountain with a bad knee, falling off of a cliff a few months ago. You know, I look at all the little things that I've accomplished. You know, some of these 5-day expeditions in the cold. I've done a lot of things in my life I'm proud of, and I've done a lot of things I like to share with people. You know, when you escape an island full of alligators, or even you escape the U.S. Air Force on a military base, you definitely got a lot to brag about. You should be proud of those journeys and adventures. You got to be thankful for surviving through these investigations each and every time we do them. So I'd like to take the time to thank my fans and members who have remained a very respectful, sincere composure in our group. I think that the members and fans should stand together because, you know, these people, if they're willing to do it to me, they're willing to do it to anybody. I personally, when I see degrading, I consider that nothing but jealousy. You know, when people come up to me and they say, hey, you're involved in ghosts, you know, they think that's all we're about. And we're more than about ghosts. We're about adventure. We're about UFOs. We're about Bigfoot. We're about friendship, truth. We're about networking. We want to be able to provide everybody with fun services like the paranormal personals, or allowing us to promote bands, especially for those indie bands who are trying to make it big. And in a way, they're promoting us too. We have all these different services on our site, tons of different services. We offer something for everybody because we care about our friends, we care about our members. And for years, I've provided the website for free. I volunteered my time in the forums for free, sending out articles daily, you know, and it's a lot to deal with in the last 5-6 years. You know, you deal with a lot of things, such as the loss of my friend. It's a very painful position to be the founder because at times you have to do what's right. Doesn't matter what everybody else says. You have to do what's right. And what's right is that people who show hate and discrimination towards our organization and talk about our members falsely and libel us and stalk me and threaten my family, these type of people need to be eliminated. They need to be reported to Myspace. It's essential if groups like ours want to continue to do our research and our work. We don't hate anybody. However, in my opinion, those responsible that have been involved for months and months trying to cause the Paranormal Ghost Society problems, you know, what goes around comes around. And as a paranormal investigator, I do believe in karma, and I do believe that each and every one of you is going to get what you deserve. You know, I'm an honest radio show host, but I'm also an honest founder. And I'll talk to you like I'll talk to my friends. And that's what makes me different from all the rest of the other founders and explorers and paranormal investigators, is that I'm able to be myself around other people. Nothing to hide, no disrespect, very sincere, and I'm very honest. You know, and as soon as I lost the controls over my group on Myspace, you know, all the people who hate or find me entertaining, their idea of entertainment is laughing at me. It's, you know, it's not laughing with me, it's laughing at me, which is very childish. And it just goes to show you the mentality of these people. You know, there's nothing wrong with you believing in your own beliefs and letting me believe in mine. And that's for my fans and my members to decide. It's not up to some hater to join the group and badmouth me when I don't even belong to it. Actually, if I'm not there to defend myself, you're a coward. It means you can't handle confrontation. And, you know, I know that a majority of people that listen to my radio show are people who do not like the Paranormal Ghost Society. And, you know, I'm not doing this to whine. I'm not doing this to complain. I just want to let my fans and my members know I'm alright. I have a new Myspace account. I wrote Myspace on the issue. They will be handling it. The Paranormal and Ghost Society forum on Myspace, I no longer am the founder. The group's going to be deleted out of the system. I'll have a new group for all the members. So just sit tight. I wanted to thank Mira for creating the Lord Rick fan group. It's nice to have fans. It's nice to have people who can back you up and support you. You know, we're the type of group that we need that support. We go out often. We do a lot of investigations. I put in hours upon hours, probably anywhere from 2 to 8 hours a day between my site, strangers, members, the forums, the website, graphics, research. It's just endless. But I'm proud of what I've done. I've done over 700 investigations in a few years. I've got photos, I got history on these places. And we've got some pretty good material. We got some content on the website. So our website's doing very well, and that's what people need to understand. The MySpace Paranormal Group is only a small part of what we do. It doesn't include our investigations, our main domain, our other forums, the services we provide such as logo wear, paranormal equipment, or the assistance privately of other people who actually need my help. When I say people need my help, you know, it's people that have lost children that need consoling. You know, I'm more than just a paranormal investigator. I console people who've lost loved ones. You know, I give them reassurance. I give them hope. And I'm a very good psychic. I don't use my talents all the time because that's not what it's about. It's not about me. It's not about anybody. I do this because it helps other people. It's my way of giving back to society. You know, in the parties I throw, I spend a lot of money on my members, people I don't even know. I do a lot of nice things for people, and I welcome all my members with open arms. You know, I don't, all these people going around saying I stole this and this idea and how I owe them an apology and how I threaten people. You know, the people who hate me, they just don't seem to understand. You're smothering me, you're threatening me, you've messed with my children, my family, you've put me in a corner, and you've left me no choice but to stand up for what I believe in. When you start laughing at my friend who was killed, you weren't at the funeral to see his parents cry, his girlfriend cry, or his 200 friends cry. I was. And I've asked people to walk away because we're not here in the enemy business. We're just here to provide a service. I don't get paid to do this. I don't make hardly any money. When we get donations, they're very small most of the time. And, you know, digital cameras, film cameras, EMF detectors, thermal detectors, survival equipment, gas that takes trips, it adds up hundreds of dollars, if not thousands. And when you get $20, $30 in a few months, that doesn't even cover the cost of the website or the amount of traffic or anything or data transfer. And, you know, I am not a person to brag, but I'm very proud of my work. I'm very proud of the accomplishments. We have over 15,000 members. We get 25,000 hits a day on our website. We talk to producers, famous bands, editors. We're friends to all. And there's a lot of jealous people out there because for some reason in their head, you know, they create rumors out of the blue. Rumors like I'm disabled and I do crystal meth and crack and I'm on welfare and I live in a trailer. None of it's true. You know, I'm a father of 3 sons. I raise them. I spend most of my time with them. I'm a very responsible person, and I have to have my act together in order to run all these forums, my website, and to be able to keep on top of things. And, you know, to be able to do this for years and years takes a lot of intelligence. when you explore this many places and travel to this, you journey here and there, you have to have it together. Because if you didn't, you'd die. You'd fall to your death. You'd end up getting in some sort of trouble. This is a type of field where very few ever make it. Most people go into paranormal investigating. They do about 3-4 months of investigations and they've quit. They've given up. Because it's a difficult field to work in. It's very difficult to work with. You go into a place and there's vagrants, with knives. And, sometimes you meet people off the internet. You can't make them happy. They don't want to follow your protocols. And then you get people like we are, 4 or 5 guys hide inside a cave or outside the cave, whatever the case was, with the intent to cause harm to the founder, when all they had to do is shake my hand and meet on up. And it's just, people just don't use their minds. They don't speak with intelligence and integrity. And, I've been doing this for years and years, so I know the whole gig and the whole routine, and I know how people are and what they want and don't want. And the more hate you haters keep showing, the more fans you're going to give me, the more people that are going to back me up, because it's not right. It's not right morally. And as a founder, I'm allowed to have a personal life. If I want to toke up, that's my business. Who I date is my business. My lifestyles, my beliefs, all of it's my business. The only thing that matters is the evidence that I put out there. And, it doesn't matter if people say, hey, I don't believe in it. Of course you don't believe in it. You weren't there with me. You don't have the original photos. And, I don't have to answer to anybody. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm never going to quit. I'm never going to go away. The founder of the Paranormal Ghost Society is very tenacious, and that's what I am. I'm a founder and I'm a leader. And it doesn't matter how many times my Myspace gets deleted or my group gets deleted. That's not falling, because whether I have the group or this website or this picture or that picture, it doesn't matter, because I'm still the founder. I'm still a paranormal investigator, whether it's online or offline. So I want to clarify that. As far as my members in the group, I'm sorry that you have had to hear these things. Like I said, the group in Myspace will be back up and running. The current group, all the flaming that's going on, I cannot delete it. I cannot ban anybody. It doesn't matter. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep up the good work. Share paranormal discussions. You don't need these people's negativity at all. When I get the new group up and running, it'll be fine. It'll be spam-free, flame-free, and everybody can continue to post there. For now, I recommend that some of you join my Yahoo groups. I got a Google group, an MSN group, a few on Yahoo. Join them. They're mainly article groups, but there's some good information that I send out almost daily. You're sure to enjoy it. So anyways, enough about the hate messages, enough about MySpace. The radio show is here so that others can learn a little bit about my theories. I can get my voice out there, talk about a few different articles, a few different things. And what I wanted to focus on is extraterrestrial life, aliens, life outside the Earth. First off and foremost, let me just say that there's billions of stars, billions of planets, billions of solar systems and galaxies. The Milky Way alone supposedly has 100 water Earth-like planets in it that have been spotted by astronomers. A lot of those planets have the same elements as Earth, carbon, which is the main building block for life. So maybe one planet has just a planet full of fish. Maybe another planet has dinosaurs walking on it. Maybe another planet has humans just like ours. It's really hard to say, but there are solar systems that are much older than ours and probably sustain life. But the question is have aliens visited planet Earth? A lot of scientists recently in some articles say, within 10 years they are sure to find microbes and proof of plant life on other planets. I think that aliens been visiting our world for much longer. I think that the aliens helped build the pyramids in Egypt and a lot of these mysterious structures we see today. I also think that aliens have somehow intervened in our government. When you hear about the reptilians and conspiracies and all these things, I think that, there are powerful influences that are at work. I think in some ways, we go out there, we experiment on rabbits and guinea pigs, and we do all these different scientific experiments. Well, what's to stop aliens from experimenting? What's to stop aliens from taking Earth and using the planet as their own giant experiment? A lot of religious fanatics are not going to agree with this statement, but I do think that Jesus Christ was a hybrid. I think he was the first. I think the Virgin Mary was a virgin because she was abducted. There's an artist out there that has done paintings with flying saucers over the Virgin Mary's head. It has nothing to do with religion. It has to do with aliens, abduction, hybrids, genetic altering experiments, which brings me to the Adam and Eve theory. Maybe Adam and Eve were not created by God at all. Maybe the God that really created humans is an alien species. Anything that's more powerful than a human being is considered a god. We can look at demonic entities, we can look at certain ghosts, we can look at angels. In a way, they are gods. I always am a founder who tries to attain the highest of power and achievement. I don't want to be the ghost that just walks around the cemetery. I want to be completely knowledgeable and aware of my surroundings and in control at all times. Call it a Gemini thing, but knowledge is power. And the thing is that many years ago, thousands of years ago rather, this Earth went through a lot of changes. It was battered by asteroids, the dinosaur wipeout. Carbon dating shows that humans are a lot older than just 10,000 years old. I think that the humans have been here many years. I think they've been eradicated. When I say eradicated, I mean almost every human's been wiped out, but a few. I think that 200,000 years ago, humans looked a lot different. And I think with gene splicing and genetic altering and something to intervene, such as aliens, we've evolutionized much quicker than most species of animals. And, after seeing my kittens being born and seeing the mother kitten with her babies, I realized that humans are not different from animals. Us as humans are more like predators. We dominate this planet. We can talk, we can definitely build things and move our hands a little more freely and such, but my cat sits at the dinner table and she takes her paw and she scoops food with it to her mouth. She thinks she's part of the family. And I watch her communicate with the kittens. And, she'll sit there and she'll call her babies in for a feeding and all that. It's just totally amazing how the similarity between an animal and a human really is. And I honestly do think, in my theory, that somehow in the past couple 100,000 years, that humans were genetically altered. And maybe that's all we are, is one giant experiment. I mean, you look at World War II. The atomic bomb went off in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And then there was a wave of UFO sightings, and they haven't stopped. I read UFO reports every day. Today, I sent out a few articles, and I looked at a few new UFO photos, and they look very authentic to me. Disc in the sky, and some of them are government craft. I'll admit, I mean, it's inevitable that there's going to be experimental craft, but not all sightings are government craft. Some of them, do they come from other worlds? Possibly. Maybe they come from our own world. Maybe they're observing us. Maybe these ghosts, these entities that I'm capturing, maybe they're not ghosts. Maybe they're aliens. I don't know. And you hear a lot of urban legends. You see photos of aliens being for autopsies going on, and you see a lot of fake UFO photographs, and you start to question things. But then, overall, UFOs have been in our history even in ancient times. And the Bible itself mentions wheels of light in the sky. There's paintings, there's hieroglyphics on walls showing gray alien species. I think at one time alien and man were friends. And I think that the whole reason why the flying saucers are so secretive and alien is because simple. We're just like animals. If an alien lands in the middle of Washington, D.C., we're going to commit an act of war. We're not going to go up to the alien and hold their hand. Unfortunately, fear is what makes man do terrible things. In my opinion, I think when the time is right, they'll make themselves more known. But when you look back at World War II, the atomic bomb was able to be seen from the moon, from what I heard. And it's a powerful blast, and it's going to attract attention if there was any alien mining or any kind of alien bases on the moon. They seen it, we got their attention, and then a wave of UFOs started. I guess Washington got hit with a UFO wave, and there was the power outage of New York City, I believe, or up in Buffalo, and those were said to be caused by UFOs. A storm of them, actually. Sadly, sometimes the student turns on the master, and what happened is that the Air Force and other government agencies noticed this wave of UFOs, and they said, hey, what would happen if we shoot these UFOs down? They're a threat to the world's security. They might bring disease, havoc. So I think there's a little secret war going on between extraterrestrials and human beings. And I think Roswell was shot down. I think that was a little private incident. I don't think it was a weather balloon. I think they shot it down. I think a couple jets stayed on it. And, when something comes in peace, they don't expect to be shot at. And I don't care what kind of technology you have. Something that's flying in the air, if it gets hit with a powerful enough blast, it's probably going to go down. And a lot of people just don't realize aliens have technology, interdimensional travel probably, the ability to move in all directions, go underwater, in a matter of a few seconds be in space, maybe even on the moon. The possibilities are just endless with what these flying saucers can do. But Kecksburg, Roswell, some famous crashes up in Siberia, all of them were inside incidents. I mean, honestly, a lot of people spoke out about these. People in the military had to come 30, 40 years later to speak about this. And, it's the biggest conspiracy and secret of all mankind, and it's being kept from a lot of people. And, these people have a right to know what's really going on here. And, today they still guard that ridge up by Roswell. The government doesn't want anybody there. There's just a lot of little stories that you hear from grapevine. I know that back then when I was up near Area 51 many years ago, I had a lady who had a brother that worked in an underground base at Area 51. And he said to her, I cannot reveal top secret information, but I can tell you right now, the government has UFOs and aircraft like UFOs. And of course, we don't know a lot. There's a lot of questions we have to answer. Did aliens build these? How many alien species there are? Did aliens do some genetic altering with their evolution? What's the purpose of us? Were we created to breed? Maybe we were created because perhaps to make hybrids, half alien, half human. That would be technically the perfect species. Humans only use 10% of their brain. You know, if you combine that with alien DNA, we might be able to use 80, 90% of our brain. If we can enhance our brain, we definitely can survive and build technology that's going to help preserve the Earth itself. So maybe that's all this is about. You know, we don't have the answers, but it seems like in a lot of abduction cases that I listen to, the aliens are considered to be interested in genetics itself. Why? Why are they so interested in abducting cattle, certain animals? There's even human mutilation. Most abductees claim that they were in some way or another raped. It is rape when you're forced to give your genetics, you're forced aboard an alien ship, and you're used for experiments. You know, you look at the story Fire in the Sky, or the movie. It's based on a true story. It's about a guy, Travis, I believe his name was up there logging up in the mountains of Arizona with his pals, and he seen some strange lights hovering over the trees, and he got curious. And he went up to this UFO, it was pulsating. He got abducted. He was missing. When I say missing, he was missing for a week. They couldn't find him in the woods or nothing. His friends all passed lie detector tests that they seen a UFO. They passed. They weren't lying about it. This was not a staged event. This is one of the greatest abduction cases of all by alien species. I do believe it happened. When they did find him, he was in the middle of a road. He was all scarred up. He was experimented on. For some reason, the aliens are infatuated with their DNA. They always have been, in my opinion. I also think that the government retrieved alien bodies from these spaceship wrecks or UFO crashes. Maybe it was to learn about them. Who knows? But to tell you the truth, you know, mankind always asks, well, how come aliens don't land in Washington, D.C.? And that's the reason why. Because humans are not ready to interact with a species that's so much greatly advanced or civilized. I think over the years, humans have had a lot of help. I mean, when you look a couple 100,000 years ago, asteroids hit this planet. Then the Great Flood. I mean, they say that all it would take is 200 years for mankind to totally be erased from existence. Because the planet would be taken over eventually by fauna, deserts, water. As it is, if you read a recent newspaper article, off the coast of India, an underwater city was found in ruins. So that just tells you right there, we don't know a lot about our planet as of now. So who are we to say aliens created the human race or they didn't create the human race? As a founder, I love aliens. If an alien landed in my backyard, I would probably go up to it. I wouldn't be greeting it with fear. You know, I look at it as if I'm meant to die, I'm meant to die. But it's about doing what's right. You can be a coward and be like the rest of the human race, or you can have an opportunity to deal with something that might be far more civilized and advanced than humans. And, you know, my opinion is that aliens, they got the technology to cure cancer and all these diseases. But they will never be able to interact with humans or be peaceful as long as other governments exist and show hostility, such as shooting them down or just caring about gaining their technology to make more weapons. And that's what it's really all about. And we can put it in simple terms. We can sit there and say that aliens might just be bailing out the human race. I mean, that's really hard to say, but that's what it seems like to me, in my opinion. I think I hear a lot of different urban legends and things, and some say that the reason why the aliens abduct us is that cloning is dying with the great alien race, that they need to mix human DNA so that they can breed instead of clone. And, I can understand alien species being jealous of humans because each and every one of us is special in our own way. We act different, we look different, and, most abductees claim when they're abducted by the Greys, it's all the same story. 3 feet high, oval black eyes, long slender fingers. They usually generally all look the same. Of course, there's different sorts of alien species that have been reported too. Then, some people say they're time travelers, coming to visit us in this time and day. It's really hard to say. Maybe that's what we'll look like in the future. Maybe they live in the hollow earth. Maybe they live on the moon. We don't know. There's a lot of theories that goes on with aliens. And, some people say that they're amongst us. We just can't see them because our eyes only can catch certain glimpses of things. We're not fully developed as humans. You look at Atlantis. Some people say they were advanced. They used lasers and crystals. Maybe they didn't come from this planet. Maybe they came from Sidona, Mars. And they settled down in Atlantis and they made some mistakes on this planet. And this is the type of planet where, you'll do anything to survive. You'll cut down trees, you'll fish. And even still, humans will kill one another to survive as well. So maybe that's all we are. We're just one giant experiment. I always felt that something watches over us. Not a god, not, anything religious of that sort. I just, when I look at the stars, I feel like we're not alone. And that's what keeps me going as a paranormal investigator, is knowing this. I hear a lot of stories. I'm a founder. People write me their own UFO and abduction stories. We get cases like that, and we've investigated cases like that. So, we have gotten some UFO evidence, which to me is wonderful to theorize on. And that's what makes unidentified flying objects and aliens so interesting, that you can sit down and you can make all kinds of theories. And there's some good ones out there. And that's all you really can do in this field is speculate. I have a lot of different theories. I don't think that the human race was meant to roam this planet. We went straight from dinosaurs and fish and birds all the way to humans walking on this earth. Something just doesn't add up right that we derived from apes. However, it would make sense if there was some genetic altering involved. And the government, they've done their fair share of genetic experiments. There's an old article about an experiment up in Russia, a dog with a man's head on it. And then you hear the rumors of Dulce on how there's a bat-like human, and how they take these people who are homeless or mentally insane, and they do horrible experiments with them. And it can be done. I'm sure humans can do it on other humans. So imagine what a species could do thousands of years ago. What it could do to ancient man. It could play God. Hence your God theory, your biblical tales that have been misinterpreted. Our radio show, we're not trying to create a religious debate. We're trying to be as scientific as possible. Give you something to think about. Let you keep an open mind about this. And who knows? We're all seekers of the truth. And that's what it's about. It's about working together to find the truth. So, that's my theory on aliens. I hope to elaborate more in future radio shows. I'd also like to say, if any of you have not done so, rent the movie called Black Christmas. It's a holiday horror. It's not based on a true story or anything like that, but it's a good horror movie. I really got a kick out of it when I seen the man from the insane hospital eat an eyeball, and it's just, mean, it's a really wicked movie. So if you like horrors, that's one to rent and check out. Even as a founder, I still love horror movies, but sometimes I laugh because my life's like a horror movie. I mean, I spend most of my time dealing with the paranormal. I've been in so many places that most haunted places now or abandoned locations, they don't even faze me. It's, perhaps because this has all become part of my life. The paranormal is my life. And what we do here is very important. There'll always be some who do not see it. And then there'll be some who understand that we have greater goals besides a Myspace forum or a Yahoo forum. We're out there, we're trying to help people, we're trying to make others aware that the paranormal exists, that there's a world upon our eyes that we just don't see. But it doesn't mean it's not there. I mean, since 1992, 230 plus planets have been discovered outside our solar system. And then you take Mars, which is one of my favorite planets. Maybe because it's red, or maybe it represents what could possibly happen next on Earth. You take the Sedona region and, you can see there's structures and pyramids in the giant face. And, maybe there was a Stargate built by aliens between the two planets. I mean, there's just so many theories out there. So when I post these UFO articles to our forums, or we talk about extraterrestrials, things of that sort, keep an open mind. There's a lot of different theories going around. I believe aliens have been visiting this planet long before humans. I believe any sort of genetics have been altered, because if you look at most animals, there's very few defects or flaws. A batch of kittens is born, they basically all look the same, except for fur color. But a human, a human's born, and there's so many different genetics and complications amongst the genes. So that's another sure sign that something over time has altered the DNA. And because it's been altered, we have many different types of humans and different types of people out there. And so that's my theory, and the reason why I did this show, and I decided to talk a little bit about it, is that a buddy of mine, he gave me his opinion and said that I should do the show on this, and so I did. And I could get into it much deeper, of course, and scientific, if you really wanted me to. But I've basically given pretty simple theories and a few of my theories of how I feel about the Adam and Eve factor. I don't think they will ever stop visiting Earth. I don't even think this is our planet. I think it's their planet. Any species that comes here from another world or has been visiting our world before ours, it's their planet. And, they come here and they abduct humans, and it just seems like they're looking for something, more or less. What are they looking for? That remains yet to be seen. So in my honest opinion, do aliens exist? I'm 100% sure. I'm not sure about anybody else, but when you take all the planets that have been discovered in galaxies and solar systems, you'll really see that the universe is infinite. And those same building blocks of life that are present on Earth are also going to be present on other planets and will sustain aliens, even if that alien is a little fish swimming in an extraterrestrial ocean on another planet. The point is we're not alone. And when we come to realize that, and we act civil and peace in society, perhaps morally revealed over time, perhaps the truth, or maybe the truth is being kept from us by the governments of the world. A few years back, there was rumors that Saddam Hussein was holding on to a UFO, and that there was a UFO crash. And then moments later, our country invaded over there. They used terrorism perhaps to mask the truth that what they really want is to collect what's been retrieved. Maybe flying saucers that have crashed in other countries. I don't know. I can't say yes, I can't say no. I can give you my theory and say this is my opinion. And then, you know, I can put together various tip-offs and other people's theories, and I can put them all together to say that this is a good possibility. But this is how I feel. I feel aliens exist. I feel they've been visiting this world for a long time. I feel that in order for us to survive, humans will have to breed and interact with other alien species. It's inevitable. One day, humans will probably be sterile and not able to produce. If we're evolutionizing or the genes are being altered, or whatever the case is, you got people being born without organs now. This evolutionizing doesn't happen on its own. And it doesn't happen that quickly. And it seems like the evolutionizing of humans is happening quicker. So the question is there alien intervention? That remains yet to be seen. Perhaps that's the reason why there's so many abductees. Are you an alien abductee? The Paranormal Ghost Society would love to hear from you. We'd like to hear your side of the story. We'd like to hear your opinions. You can join our board. You can share our story. Nobody's going to laugh at you, but we are here to help and share information which will help better your experiences with these certain circumstances and situations. We will do more shows on aliens and UFOs, but right now I just wanted to cover a few of the basics. And just remember, the truth might be out there, so keep your eyes to the sky. And signing out, this is your host, Lord Rick.